hello and good evening and welcome to Lengro Late Night Live. Did you see our new intro? I can see the girls backstage and we always have a little jig to it when it's going. We can't resist it. And pretty soon, guys, you'll be dancing along to it too, the more that you hear it, I can guarantee. So it is indeed Wednesday, the 2nd of June. Can you believe it? Summer has finally peeked its head out, and let's hope that it's here to stay. I don't quite know where Waring is wandering at the moment. If you watched the show last Saturday night, you'll know that she took us to a pub and we did encroach on a couple's night out, their first night out since they had a baby together. And yeah, I did give them a reading and we did interview them. So it wasn't quite the quiet night out that they thought it would be again. Lovely Sam from Lengro, she's commenting tonight. She's not actually on screen with us, so don't forget to say hello to her there as well. There's Amber Redman, Helen Third. You've missed me in the private members club. I was in there earlier, Helen, at 7:30, and I will be in there again tomorrow evening as well. So I will post up for you, Helen, tomorrow, the time that I'm going to be in there. Gina's just become a member. If you're not a member of the private members club, then get on over to clairepetulengro.tv and you can become one of our private community as well. A safe space to delve into all that's esoteric and plenty more as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the ladies. I'm not quite sure where Amanda Waring is yet, so I'm going to bring on Jack first. So please give it a big hello to the one, the only Jack Tyler. Jack, good evening to you.
Good evening. Gosh, isn't it hot today?
Well, you don't know because you were busy sorting out the Lengro Live, but after I went on the members club at 7:30, I was live on Derek's page, as you know, at 8 o'clock. But my little old fan that I broke, that I just bought, that's so trusty, I dropped it earlier on today and it wouldn't work. So I was quite literally sweating. And in the end, Lucy, my daughter, came to the rescue and she's taped it down with sellotape. So I'm nice and cool tonight. I am. I'm feeling it. So you got some celeb gossip coming up for us later.
We have, yep. Got lots of celeb gossip coming up.
And you've got lots of people saying hello.
Hi, Joanne.
As well. So we see where Waring is wandering tonight.
Yes, I know. I haven't heard from her today, so I'm a bit worried.
Well, she was wine tasting 21 wines the other week, wasn't she? So,
yeah, and then we found her down another pub on Saturday.
So quite literally, she could be anywhere. Just thank God she can't use a passport at the moment. Let's have a look. Let's bring her on. Uh-oh. Should we give her a shout? Amanda!
Amanda! Hi, guys! I was just wondering. Well, I'm not wondering today. I'm wondering. Okay, so I'm wondering about the universe, the world, and everything else. But I was.
You weren't hiding your bottle under the table just then, were you, Amanda?
I was. How did you guess? Well, the theme of the wonders that I've done today, I'm wearing clues. So if I've been, look, can you see this? This is a clue where I've been. Sort of the hat's a bit of a clue. Even the colour of the scarf's a bit of a clue. And it was on Lengro Live Instagram, a bit of a clue. And this is a bit of a clue.
So let's get this right, because for a moment I thought you'd stayed in all day. So the true Amanda Waring would never stay in. You have actually been out today then, yeah?
I have been out. I just haven't been out at night.
Was it night after the 21 wine tasting? Let's ask the viewers to guess where you've been today. Guys, where do you think that Amanda has been wandering today? Where's Amanda Waring been wandering? Where do you think? Okay, we'll wait for some comments to come up. Nikita is saying it was lovely meeting your cousin Sarah at the Pleasure Beach yesterday. Oh, good. Did you see my picture in her window? Because I have got a few pictures in her window. Up in Blackpool, guys, when I go up on holiday, all of my cousins have got places they do readings there. And sometimes when I'm up there, I nip in and I give people readings and they're quite shocked to see me up there as well. Oh, hold on. Jack, look, Sam at Lengro is guessing.
Sam enjoying some wine. That wasn't a kind of a doing thing. That's maybe, but no, I wasn't today. But bless you for your thinking. Big clues, guys. Stripy top, kind of a boater hat.
Water bottle.
Look, this has got waves on it. Come on.
Come on, guys, have a guess. Have a guess where she's been. Well, I think I'm getting closer now, don't you, Jack?
I hope you are, because otherwise I feel like I'm on a children's program. Yes,
You didn't ask anybody about the colour of their pants, though, did you, this afternoon?
No, not today. Though I did wonder if I was going to ask someone the colour of their bottom today.
There you go. Punting.
On the river. Oh, punting. Sorry, we don't say that word, do we? And what is that rhyme that we're supposed to say, Claire?
Oh my goodness, I've got to get. I haven't got the rhyme ready, and I was supposed to do that today. Mitch Jenkins has sent it to Simon. We might have to do that tomorrow, guys, and send our versions in.
And Fiona Bergen thinks you've been to Cornwall.
Oh, cool. Wow, love it. I love it. I didn't quite get time to go there and back today, but another time I'm going to Cornwall. So I like the beach. Yes, that was yesterday. Punting was, taking a punt there as well, Claire. Kind of really pretty close to what that was. Picnic at the beach, not quite. On the Instagram, I did a picture of where I was. So that's cheating on Lengro Life. But today, just for glorious fun and for all of you out there that just wants to do something different, I took myself on a motorboat, on an open top little kind of just, I don't know, like a plastic boat with a motor down the River Arun. Saw just beautiful wildlife. It was just amazing. All COVID safe, all COVID secure. And then I was going to get in a kayak. It was all about water. Then I've been aqua swimming today, looking at Arundel Castle with lots of women with big boobs. We're all being bounding around in the water. Very exciting. Lots keeping afloat very well. And then also drinking lots of water. So it's all been about the water today, and also this understanding that we are in this sort of eclipse, full moon eclipsey type thing. We need to start cleansing our souls, our minds, our bodies, our spirits. This eclipse window is intense. So that's why I'm trying to enjoy myself where I can, because it gets hot and heavy otherwise.
Sounds like an amazing day.
Yes. Yeah. It's a good day. I take myself off for adventures every now and then when life gets really a bit intense. I give myself an adventure, and that's what I did, and I recommend it for everybody.
Did you go on your own, Amanda, on the boat?
I did.
Oh wow!
Wow. Do you know what? She's an inspiration to us all, isn't she? She really, really is. I love
that. I just have no friends. That's not very inspirational.
I stopped sending the checks. I need to keep sending them again.
Darling, I'm missing that. That 10p a week is really helping. No, so it's. But I do think that we get to a certain age and we think, well, perhaps we can't do certain things or can't do things on our own. And I've used to be doing lots of things on my own or with my son. And I think now, like this summer, I've made a promise to myself to make sure that I'm as adventurous as I can possibly be. Because I think with COVID and everything else, we don't know what's around the corner. Don't know what's around the river bend when I'm driving like that. And apparently, I must tell you that the seal, so there is a gorgeous seal on the River Arun that sometimes just literally flops into your boat as you're driving along. How incredible. I think I would have freaked out, actually, if that had happened. I'm not sure if I would have been really calm and like, this is amazing. I might have gone, oh my God, it's going to eat me. But that's when you need someone else to then just gently say it's all fine and that's all right. So, But
what about our viewers? What about our viewers tonight, though? How many of you have stepped outside of your comfort zone now that the COVID restrictions have relaxed? What have you done that you didn't do before? Are you all going to go back to the normal life you had, or are you going to be like Amanda and wander somewhere more exciting? That's what I wonder.
And then wonder why you're wandering.
Exactly.
How you're doing. What's the meaning of life? It's important to do life decisions whilst you're also having fun. Then it's also a kind of a good mixture of the two.
Absolutely.
It's a good job that she hasn't been able to use her passport yet, or we don't know which country.
Where she'd be.
No, we really don't. What about you, Jack? Have you stepped out your comfort zone yet?
No, I haven't. I've just been really boring. I haven't done anything out of my comfort zone.
Oh, Jackie,
what can I do, Amanda? What can you advise me to go and do?
What can I advise you go and do? You could try walking backwards for a day.
Well, I might have an accident. I've already had one accident where I've got a huge great big bruise.
Oh,
I recommend it. I just honestly, if you want a different perspective, walk backwards for a day, or you could.
Actually, I've started writing a novel, so I suppose that's out of my comfort zone, isn't it?
I'm sorry. All hail the authoress. I'm so sorry. That is amazing. I mean,
well, I wanted to do it all my life, but I've always had imposter syndrome. You know, where you think, oh gosh, who am I to write a novel? So I thought, no, I'm going to do it. So yeah.
So we have extracts on. Are you going to read us a few pages a day?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh,
I sent the first 2 chapters to Claire for approval.
I've had the privilege of reading the first 2 chapters, and let me say, I was absolutely hooked. So much so that I've annoyed Jackie for days now, where I've just said, just tell me, does he do this? Does he end up doing this? Does she do that? So I've already sort of, got to the grips of it. But don't forget as well, Jack, where can people read your stories as well? There are some stories they can read, aren't there?
Yeah, well, they can still go onto Lengro magazine and have a look there, or they can have a look on our Lengro Facebook page, because I put them on every Friday. So, they can. We've got lots of stuff on our Lengro page and our Instagram page as well.
Yeah,
so you can follow all of us on there.
Some people might not know what Lengro is. I know that some people, I've seen some names that have come over from Derek's page. So do explain, ladies, what Lengro is.
Well, Lengro was a magazine that Claire started last year for lockdown to help people get through lockdown. It's inspirational, got lots of advice and stories and well-being and lifestyle, lots of things in it. And we did it for a year, didn't we? And had an amazing time. And then now we've sort of jumped off the pages of the magazine and we've gone into doing our lives. So you can find us here on our lives and on our Facebook page and Instagram page. And yeah, we're just having a ball, really.
It is.
So if you're doing the best you can, Lengro is all about supporting each other and making the most out of you. That's Sam. Yes, Sam, who's not on the live, who's just lying there eating chocolate and doing anything but trying to be with us, is fine.
But she is our partner in crime. She is usually on our lives with us.
Sam, I'm joking. I love you. It's fine.
She is. Now, a lot of people who joined us didn't see the opening video. Shall I play it quickly and then we'll go back? Let's play it. This is the members of Lengro. Not all of them are on here tonight, but just so you have a little look. This is Lengro family.
It makes me feel the way you do. It's easy to prove I don't want anyone else but you.
I just love that video. I really do. So if you're not following us already on the Lengro pages, then do get on over and give us a follow and a like on both Facebook and Instagram. Now, as you can see, running along at the bottom of the screen, just to go on from talking about travels and getting out of our comfort zones, when we go back to the airport, are you frightened to go back? Is there something funny that's happened to you at the airport? Or, is the worst, I can't read what I've said now, but is there a lie that you've told to get out of work, to do something like going on holiday or like doing something better? We want to know what lies that you've told to get out and be able to do the things that you've wanted. So do share your stories with us. We've got some people here telling us. Kelly Elizabeth says she had to get out of her comfort zone on Monday. She had to get normal clothes on and not her PJs to go food shopping. You could go food shopping in your PJs nowadays. I think anything gets after lockdown, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no. Put clothes on, get dressed up, go shopping.
Jack and I used to talk, and she was going to the supermarket, and we'd plan her outfit of her going to the supermarket because that was the only time that she got out. Maybe you can also all help us and help Nikita. She says she wants to do something out of her comfort zone for her birthday, which is in 5 days' time. Oh, that's one for you, ladies. Well,
Ooh.
I'd say a skydive personally, but
I was going to say exactly the same thing. If it's, I mean, I don't know whether she'd be able to get one that early, but that
When I was 50, my family bought me a plane, to fly a plane, a day out flying a plane. I was so excited because I've always wanted to do that. And then the place we were going to fly from, they stopped doing it, so I couldn't do it. I had to have my money back. I've never let have their money back. Yeah.
Well, we've done it now, Jack, because as far as I'm concerned, you're going to have to rebook it with somebody else. I'm going to have to film it live for the Lengro viewers. Absolutely.
Well,
Now,
my family didn't want me to do it because they were convinced I was going to crash into a tree or something. So they were saying, "Oh, it's a sign, it's a sign."
yeah, but the only thing they'd want to know is who's cooking their dinners, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Lengro's very own Sammy Norcup says that her daughter Lily got stopped at Orlando as a candy from the Disney Halloween party. Like,
no.
Oh my goodness.
Oops. My brother, when we were going to Corsica with my family, we got marched off the plane because he had a toy gun in his hand luggage. He was mad for guns, and literally, and a dagger as well. But like a plastic dagger that kind of retracts. But anyway, yes. So we were either marched off as a child. I seem to remember being marched off, and then we were allowed back on eventually. But it was all very embarrassing. And then
we had the same thing. Yeah.
Oh,
with my son. Yeah, we were flying to Cornwall, and we got stopped. Just going to Cornwall because his gun showed up in his suitcase.
No. I need to address Shazia Majid. You said, are we doing readings today or chit chat? If you want to be sure of getting a reading, then do join the private members club. Lengro Live, sometimes we do readings, but we are about chit chat, my darling, indeed. I just wanted to go up to Chrissy Wheatley, who says, I've been in this house since March 2020. I just go out when I need anything because my son had a tumor taken out of his brain. He had 3 operations in 3 weeks and he's counted as vulnerable because of his medication. Chrissy, I see you on it all the time, and I do hope from the bottom of our hearts that we have been here for you as Lengro. So hopefully we've given you that little bit of a lift as well. And stay with us, Chrissy, because it's actually quite rare that Amanda's in her own house. So you never know where Wearing will wander next week, do they?
Yeah, exactly. Where will she turn up next?
Before we go on to our next item, a quick story is my mother, being the gypsy that she is, she always took supplies everywhere that we went. That would obviously be her cigarettes and her brandy, but it would also be snacks of food, sort of sandwiches and things that she could prepare. She might want to buy something when we're on the road. And we were going to Miami as well. And I think we were coming back from Miami. And all of a sudden she got stopped at security. And not only did she have 1 knife, but she had 5. All of the sizes. And she said that she claimed they were for, one was for peeling fruit, one was for cutting bread. And she had this whole set of knives in her hand luggage. And we almost got away with it until they sort of pulled out the last knife. And they said, well, what's this one for? And she went, well, that's in case I want to stab anyone. So yeah, we're going to have to be extra careful with that hand luggage when we fly abroad, guys. Now, Jack, haven't you got a famous face for us to spot?
Yes, so it was somebody's birthday yesterday. So have a look at this picture and see if you can guess who it is.
Okay, let's have a little look. I am the technical director as well, guys, so just give me a
It's so amazing. Otherwise, I'll just freeze frame.
Okay, here we go.
So let's see if anybody can guess who that lovely lady is.
Okay, we're going to have a look at the comments. Okay, can anybody guess, please, who this person is? And I can see Shazia Majid, who I just talked to. You just joined the members club. You just started the application process. Thank you for understanding, my darling. We do lots of different kinds. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
we got it.
Chrissy.
Yes, it's Marilyn Monroe. It would have actually been her 95th birthday yesterday. Can you believe it?
Oh, wow. And what can you tell us about Marilyn then, Jack?
Yes, I've got some Marilyn facts for you. So, her breathless voice that she has, that she's famous for, that's not actually her proper voice. That's something that she uses to overcome her childhood stutter. She was taught by a speech therapist how to use that throaty style. But while filming her last movie, Something's Got to Give, her stutter returned, and then she was sacked, unfortunately, from the last movie.
Oh.
Also, she was supposed to play Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
No.
But her acting coach told her that it wouldn't be a good idea to play a lady of the night. So obviously that went to Audrey Hepburn, which was amazing. Also, the crystal-covered gown that she wore when she sang Happy Birthday to John F. Kennedy, she had to be sewn into that. That was so tight. Also, Tommy Hilfiger bought the blue jeans that she wore in River of No Return and some cowboy boots, which he gave to Demi Moore. Marilyn also appeared in the first edition of Playboy in 1953, but she never actually met Hugh Hefner. So what he did was in 1992, he bought the crypt next to hers and said he wants to be laid in rest next to her vault as well. No. And Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe had an affair while they were filming Some Like It Hot. They were both married. She was married to Arthur Miller and he was married to Janet Leigh. And then she actually got pregnant. And they found out during filming that she was pregnant, but she miscarried. And he was told then to stay away from her for the rest of filming. Oh. And then, unfortunately, I think, she died, didn't she, a couple of years after that? She was only 36.
Yeah. Sam at Lengro, could you please type up the page for Lengro that Gina Claulo is asking for as well? So Marilyn Monroe, from my point of view, she's a sun sign Gemini. And as we know, it's a sign of duality, which I found really interesting because many Geminis have more than one name. And of course, Marilyn went one step further. She had two names before the creation of her famous stage name. She was born Norma Jean Mortensen, and later changed her name then to Norma Jean Baker as well. In her natal chart, she's got the sun next door to chatty Mercury in Gemini. So the combination suggests that she was an everyday girl with everyday interests. But astrology to one side as well. One more astrological fact. She's got her the curious Gemini energy of her Mercury and Sun. That's why she had her head in a book. It makes that person interested in intellectual pursuits and learning. And as we all knew, she married some rather intellectual men in her time, didn't she? She married the writer. What was the writer called, Amanda?
Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller, yeah.
Exactly. So she didn't marry sort of the common men, but we all think of Marilyn as being so beautiful. And when I was growing up, she really was my idol. I had lots of coffee table books on her, as with the posters on my walls. Did you know that not a lot of people know this, but she was actually born with 6 toes?
Oh.
Really?
She was, and I think she had one of them removed as well later on. She also had a nose job, and she had also implants put in her cheek to give her a stronger jawline. But before that happened, she was actually photographed in an iconic photograph wearing a potato sack to prove the point that she could look good in anything.
What was your favourite film then?
My favourite film was the last one that she made. Oh, no, actually, no. I think... oh goodness, that's such a hard one.
It is hard, isn't it?
I think Some Like It Hot, definitely. But I had the Marilyn Monroe collection on DVD, and I couldn't stop watching the last movie she ever made because I knew.
Misfits?
No, the last movie she ever made was one. It was a color movie. The Misfits was incredible as well. But the last movie she made, she died before it was finished, and they pieced it together. And when you look at it, you can see sort of the sadness in her eyes. But I wonder how many of you believe about the conspiracy theory. Do you believe that Marilyn was murdered? Because interestingly enough, as well, the other fact is she had the same things in her chart that Diana did, and both of them died in suspicious circumstances as well. And Neptune, for the next Marilyn Monroe to be born, Neptune was in her sign. It only comes back into its sign every 165 years. But that's only the age of the golden movies generation aspect of her personality. So it could be a while before we see another movie like that. Chrissy Wheatley wants to confess to us. She said, I'll confess, I saw on Carol Bromley's page yesterday, that picture. She recognized Marilyn because her brother had photos all over his house as well.
Now, did you see any of her films, Chrissy? Did you like any of her films? River of No Return, I loved that film.
Yeah, I don't
think that one.
I don't think about. I'll lend them to you next time. When I come up and see you next month, I will bring my films up and leave them with you in good hands. Somebody else said here. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. Did she have an affair with JF Kennedy? Not only did Marilyn have an affair just with Kennedy, she also had an affair with two of the Kennedys, actually, as well.
Yeah.
She had an affair with both of the brothers as well.
Yeah,
And that
Indeed,
was
too.
why there were suspicious circumstances over her death. But she was certainly an amazing icon, wasn't she? She really, really was. Now, let me bring up Jack's thing as well. There you go. Coming up, Jack, look at that. Celebrity news. Do you have any other?
I was waiting for a picture. You're talking about.
I'm like, oh my goodness me.
That's frozen again.
Seriously underwhelmed.
Yeah. I honestly thought I'd frozen again.
Oh,
I tell you who Marilyn did have a sleep with that not many people know is Frank Sinatra.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, and Frank Sinatra also used to sleep with Judy Garland as well. She used to scream outside of his window until he let her in. But also, I think it was Frank Sinatra as well. When Billie Holiday died, Frank Sinatra loved her so much, like a sister, that he paid for Billie Holiday's funeral as well. So, I mean, they're the big icons of the time. And I don't think we get glamour or celebrities like that anymore, do we?
Well,
No.
talking of glamour,
Oh, go
have
on.
we got Nicole Kidman's pictures up there?
Oh, she's gorgeous, isn't she? Look.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, so it that's her in Moulin Rouge with Ewan McGregor, and it's actually 20 years. She's celebrating 20 years of the musical. That's why she's putting all those pictures up. And in case anybody doesn't know the story about Moulin Rouge, the musical, it's about a young English depressed poet who becomes infatuated with the singer at Moulin Rouge called Sabine, and it was set in the 1900s. And so she put those pictures up. Celebrate, and she also put up one of the quotes from the film, which is, "The greatest thing you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return." I really love that, don't you?
Oh, I absolutely love it. In fact, Jack is kind enough that as my birthday present, she's actually booked me tickets to go and see the show at Moulin Rouge, haven't you, Jack?
Yes, so that's going to be at the Piccadilly Theatre, and it starts in November. So, oh gosh, I'm so excited! It's just going to be amazing.
I've got to send a text to the rest of the Lengro team. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I can't make November. I've got a headache.
Oh, that's not good. A headache is never allowed. And darling, on that same thing, I've got some Moulin Rouge facts, if that is good. To say a few, because I just want to bring these up. Oh, that's interesting.
You know, in the film, you know, the trapeze, when she was up on the trapeze, that was actually her. She did the stunts herself.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, here we go. Here are some Moulin Rouge facts for us all in case we didn't know this. So it was built in 1885, and it was, I know it's a beautiful musical. It's known for its campaign-filled parties that pioneered cabaret and the famous can-can dance. The iconic image of the Moulin Rouge dancers are slim with graceful figures, but also Moulin Rouge auditioned for males too. So they had to have a well-proportioned muscular body, minimum height of 183 centimeters. Well, that's interesting. I couldn't. How tall, just off the top of your head, is 183 centimeters? I'm just feeling like a very small little man to lose the track. But anyway, there we go. Great stage presence and a bright personality. And then a fire broke out in 1915, probably due to a short circuit, and spread through the building in minutes, destroying the auditorium and the ballroom. So the cabaret actually shut down for 6 years until it was reconstructed in 1921. And then the iconic windmill at the Moulin Rouge, it represents the tiny village Montmartre, where there were 15 windmills which used to grind wheat and press grapes and materials for the factories. And the building was the capital's first electric building. So you would go on to become an emblem of Paris. This is obviously the Moulin Rouge symbol, which I've actually seen when I was doing Gigi. I was flown out to Paris to kind of just get a feel of Paris and being French, and went down a street called Gigi, and then there was I went to the Moulin Rouge. Didn't go inside it, but it was exciting. Just very, very small building from the outside. And then it says, oh, final thing, like ladies, saucy but nice. Wearing fact here. The high leg kicks used in the show weren't just to show how flexible the dancers were, oh no. They were also a warning to men who took liberties that they would get a kick in the face if they went too far, like that one, interesting. The show was once considered scandalous due to the fact that women wore pantalettes with an open crutch. So a high kick could be unintentionally revealing.
No.
So that was the flashing, the dashing, flashing of the dancers then.
Well, I'm afraid, ladies, that we are out of the running to appear in the Moulin Rouge show, because the height that you've given me of 183 centimeters is 6 feet and 47 inches.
That's for the men.
Okay, I was going to say, I myself have been to Moulin Rouge many, many times over the years, because Montmartre, like you say it better than me, is my favorite place in the world. And over the years, I've loved nothing better than wandering around Paris, pretending that I'm French. But also, if ever I've been on dates over the years, I've always made sure that we go to Paris and they take me to the Moulin Rouge as an experiment to see how they fare it and whether I like them, to see whether they'll drink champagne and take in the atmosphere of Paris like I like. And many.
So what is it like then when you go in? Is it as amazing as we imagined?
Now it's obviously more commercialized. So you go in and it's beautiful when you're in there. It's all done out in decadent colors. You've got very small round tables with a light on each table, but the tables are now much closer together. And when the girls dance, they're all topless, but it's not sordid in any way. That, like you say, they're very very tall, very dancer-esque figures. They look incredible dancers. The work they put into the show is amazing. The show itself is amazing, and you have to pay, for your meal when you're there or your drinks, and it's included a bottle of champagne. And obviously, Paris is famous for champagne, comes from the Champagne region. So it is like stepping back in time to me. And to me, I'd love to take you girls there. Maybe we should organize a Lengro followers trip there, because Paris itself is my favorite city in the world, but it doesn't disappoint. It doesn't let down. And I would recommend everybody to go there. But
who would come with us? Chrissy, would you come with us? Lauren, would you come with us?
See, who else
would come with us? But she's invited.
Michelle Hayes has never been to Paris.
Well, Michelle can come with us as well then.
Yeah, Michelle, it's got to happen.
Yeah. And I promise I won't bring any knives on the aeroplane either. That's fine.
Or toy guns.
No.
Well, my mum, when we got on a plane to, oh gosh, was it even the same flight? It was the same flight to Corsica. Gosh, it was all happening. She was given drugs. So I guess couple of joints. We're talking, in the 70s, early 70s. And she showed my dad and said, oh, look what I've got for us to smoke on the plane. Because, you can smoke on planes then. Dad was like, oh wait, what is that? What do you? I've never had one before. I just thought it would be relaxing on the plane.
I love that. Do you know what? I think that we don't realize what a good era we were born in, ladies. There was no evidence because there were no mobile phones. You couldn't phone a date when they'd left the restaurant to see if they liked you. You had to wait for that 2-week sort of gap to get the phone call. And of course, you could smoke on planes and you could smoke in restaurants and do what you wanted. But not only do we want to know tonight, what is the biggest lie, guys? It's safe. You're just between the Lengro family. What's the biggest lie you've told to get out of work? But also, let's have a little. Oh, her daughter wants to come as well. What's the biggest lie you've told to get out of work? And do you like the era that we live in now, or do you miss the fact that we didn't have the technology now? I mean, I'm just glad that we can't send rude photo, or we weren't able to send rude photo pictures of ourselves when we were younger.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't be wanting to get all those pictures when I was younger, for sure.
I mean, I'm so clumsy.
You'd want to get them now, though, Amanda, yeah?
Well, I do get them now, so I'm just sorry, but I can't help it. But it's never ending, stream of filth.
Say that I had a boyfriend that said, we were in a loving relationship, and he said to me, Claire, send me a picture. I'm so scatty that I put accidentally I put up on Facebook. So, I need to stay away from those kind of things. I really do.
No, I think it's really hard, isn't it, when you don't want something that's unsolicited and unrequested, then to get those pictures that come in, it's just like, it's not nice. It's definitely not nice.
No.
But I did find a saucy picture a while back that I'd completely forgotten. You know, it's one of those classic things, a moment, it was a bit of a Baywatch moment. And I suddenly thought, oh my goodness me, I tore those pictures up. I tore them up with a great gusto, because I suddenly thought, yeah, actually, you know, when we were younger or not younger, you know, you would go and take your Polaroid out, wouldn't you? And do a little photo of each other. Well, I did anyway, about 17, 18. So I found all of those, and I got rid of those just because I thought, if my son found those, it's like really embarrassing.
All right, Amanda, a lot of people might not be aware, but Amanda is a very famous actress of stage and screen over the time. What is the raunchiest photo shoot over the years that you've ever had to do?
Oh, well, that was for my own show. So that was for The Love of Chocolate. And I guess I didn't think at the time it was going to look quite so saucy. But so it's a couple of pictures of me like lying backwards with chocolates over my nipples almost. So that was a bit saucy and a bit nice, but I hadn't had to ever really do the kind of very, very raunchy photo shoots. I don't think I would have done. I turned down some nude roles and that kind of thing when I was younger, just because I wasn't comfortable with that. But
what about now, Amanda? If you got offered a part where there was nudity in it, would you take it now, being older and wiser?
And wider. Older, wiser, and wider. Yes, I have been offered. What was I offered? I think it was the Calendar Girls. I've been offered a few things where I wouldn't say no because of that. You know, definitely. If it warranted it, and it's funny, isn't it? Because now is a time when you're not quite looking at your most, you know, perhaps your most nubile, but maybe that's why I would feel more confident doing it, because it's like, well, okay. You know, it's not after just one thing; it's there for the actual character.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see what this year brings. I'm looking forward to some more acting roles and some more voiceover roles, and you know, I could do all my voiceovers naked. Nobody would know.
Yeah, nobody would know.
The thing is, we don't know during lockdown whether those business meetings we've had, the colleagues at work haven't been naked, do we? I mean, all sorts of things could have gone on. I've got two questions for you. One is, Michelle Hayes says, I hate getting sent rude pictures. I'm not going to leave out the boys, but I'm going to come to the girls first. If your new boyfriend, ladies, said that they would like to send you a dick pic, is it something you'd go, oh, yes, goody, goody? Or would you find it something that, or would it put you off your hot chocolate or your cup of tea? And if you're a guy, would you find a girl that sent you a nude picture more attractive, or would it put you off of her? That's a question that I want to ask, as well as the one rolling along the bottom of the screen.
It depends, doesn't it? Because if my new boyfriend was 30, then maybe. But if my new boyfriend was 55, then maybe not. So I think it depends on age as well.
Does that age? Does the dick pic?
No, but I think from their point of view, a 30-year-old would think it was a bit funny, wouldn't they? But like a 55-year-old, it would be a bit, that would be a bit sordid.
You were saying that you wouldn't want to look at the picture of you want to look at a 30-year-old's picture, but you wouldn't want to look at a 50-year-old's
I wouldn't actually want to look at the pictures at all, but just the, you know.
Amanda, does a man's age or not? I mean, I'm not talking about around it. I mean, I'm going very off scale here now, but does it age, the thing itself? I don't know.
Well, the thing that we're all skirting around, what penis. I think that's what it's called. I think it is. Well, as far as I know, let me just ask someone. Shall I go out to my village?
Go outside and find someone.
We did underwear last year. I think we should do this as an experiment. Having watched Naked Attraction a few times now, flicking through accidentally and being so shocked and surprised and now can't stop watching it. I wouldn't say that anything looks aged and different with that appendage of a gentleman's at that time. So but you know, as a sophisticated lady, I think a picture from a 30-year-old or a 54-year-old unsolicited, I'd still say no, thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, says she's got them from randoms, and that's not good. How do you get them from randoms? I mean, I had quite a few fraudulent calls from banks that weren't my banks today. But getting, you know, a fraudulent random dick pic, I've not had, I don't know whether it's a pleasure or distaste of having one of them before. How do you get them, Michelle?
I think it looked like when she ate randoms. That's what I thought she meant. You know, there's this sweet called randoms. And I thought she got some kind of sweet. I got them from random. Yes, they've now put little mini pictures in there. You never know what you're going to get.
Well, I want to know what the clapper is, because I've heard of the clap, but not the clapper.
No, I guess exactly. It's got to be some new Twitter, something, whatever.
Should Lengro be on clapper? I mean, fill us in.
No, Lengro's got to be on Twitter.
Oh, this is definitely Lengro live. Another reason why not to go live at 1 in the afternoon. Oh my goodness!
And I might cut off my power. One thing I didn't realise was I haven't actually got my laptop powered up, so you might have to talk amongst yourselves. And let's just find out if anybody has done something naughty to get out of work.
Yes, I think exactly. Pull it round, Amanda. Pull it round. Let me bring this up.
Is mine an excuse right now? Like, do I really have to go and get my charger for my laptop, or actually, am I just now wanting to get out of doing this filthy show? We'll have to see answers on a postcard. Where am I wandering now?
Oh, where is she wandering now?
She's going to get that bottle from under the table.
Shall we bring up a celeb picture as well before we go really off the scale here? Let me see what else I've got that you sent me. Let me have a little look. We've got this one. Can we bring it back round? Can we put it together?
So that's Holly Ramsey. And she's revealed on her podcast that she started doing 21 and over. She's revealed about her mental health issues. And the reason why she's decided to do that is she feels like she's ready to talk about it now, because 6 months ago, she was posting things on her social media that she thought people would want to see, being Gordon Ramsay's daughter. And that wasn't really the real her. She wanted to show people the real her. So on her podcast, she's actually talks about anxiety, self-doubt, and she's also opened up about being hospitalized for PTSD following 2 sexual assaults she had at 18 years old.
Wow.
She received treatment in a private hospital for 3 months after suffering symptoms while she was studying fashion design. She's now having regular therapy, and she hopes by speaking out about her experiences, she'll be helping other people. And she said her family have been incredible with helping her. But yeah, so this podcast is a new thing that she started now.
Right. Well, good for her for speaking out. All of us at Lengro wish her the best of luck with her recovery. We really, really do. We've pulled it back round, Amanda. You're safe.
Oh, good. Good. So are we going to talk about the worst things that we've done for getting out of jobs?
Yes, we want to know. Come on, guys, talk to us and tell us the worst thing that you've done to get out of work or to get out of a job. While you think of what you're writing, can I just hail somebody who I think is one of the most, or probably one of the most incredible women in the world. There was a young woman who was shot in the head by the Taliban in Pakistan called Malala. And if you haven't read her book, then you should get out there and order it. It's called I Am Malala. Not only has she written a new book telling people's stories throughout the world of young women who are fighting their own individual causes. That's also an amazing book as well. But she also said yes to gracing the cover of Vogue as well. So Malala, she said, yes, let's just take a look at her. Absolutely incredible woman. There she is. And I'm so glad Vogue is finally putting people like that on the cover. Absolutely beautiful and so tastefully done as well. Isn't she gorgeous?
What amazing photos.
Absolutely. An inspiration to us all as well. our followers are being a bit boring. Look, loved work, done nothing. And that's what, so they're all behaving tonight. We've been talking about the clap, and they've all been going to work like good people, really, haven't they?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that happened to me when nobody believed when I was late for work was obviously my work being performing, doing shows sometimes.
Now you do.
So I was in Korea doing a world tour of Hamlet, and I got stuck in it was absolutely terrifying actually, but I was in the shops buying some Reeboks, fake Reeboks that you get when you go out to Korea. And suddenly there were tanks and everything going through the street, and it was like an invasion. So we were literally locked into the shops and lying down on the floor. And the production assistant hadn't heard about this and didn't understand why I was literally late for the show. And I had to say, look, I was in an extremely frightening and devastating situation, but they wouldn't believe me. They thought I'd just gone out and was having a cocktail in a hotel somewhere. I was like, no, I'm like this down in the dirt with tanks going past, wondering what on earth's happening and who's going to get hurt.
No. Oh, what an experience that was. Well, I haven't told lies to get out of work, but I have told lies about what I do as work, just to have nights out where I don't have people saying to me, can I have a reading? And so when I was younger and I used to go out with girlfriends and things, often I would say things like I was a makeup artist at a mortician's, or whatever I could think of after a glass of wine. I think it's a strange career that would stay away from what I really did as a living as well. Amanda, I'm afraid that I've got to bring on a clip from you, because we've got Chrissy, who's asked me about 4 or 5 times now. She says, Amanda, your face is familiar. Where have I seen you before? You will have seen Amanda on many things, including Casualty, including various television programs. But years ago, Amanda beat all of the contestants that wanted to win the role of Gigi. So let's have a look at Amanda when she was on the West End stage. Take a look at this. Love it.
I love that.
How embarrassing. I'm wearing the similar top. It's like I've never grown up.
Now, I have a question for you that might be a little bit risque as well, seeing as we're being risque tonight. And I do keep that clip on my computer because I do love pulling it out. I really do. With Beryl Reid there, drinking her sort of wine on the stage. Beryl Reid did like a tipple, and not saying a bad word against Beryl at all. But did Beryl ever miss one of the stage shows because of her tipples and use a different excuse?
Oh, she missed many, many, many shows. 3 understudies. So that was how many she'd missed. So 3 understudies for her in the week. Bless her, but it's now quite, it's quite well known. So it was kind of legendary. She didn't not finish a show, so that's true. But she would love her drink, and she would wander in at the backstage in the front of the stage whilst someone else was singing, like me, for example. Or she'd throw things at stage hands if they were sitting down in the wings. When she was on, she expected them all to be standing up and watching her. So, it was hysterical. We had so many, many problems, and she used to forget her lines all the time. I mean, she was an amazing performer and very well loved and all of that. That doesn't take away from that. But as a somebody to act with, very, very tricky when you're only like 19 years old and you're in the flaming fire of somebody.
Was everyone scared of her, Amanda? Was that why no one ever said anything? Yeah.
I mean, she was an icon. I mean, she's definitely trodden the boards long enough to have deserved to have done what she wanted. But who's the nicest actor or actress that you've ever worked with that to you thought, deserved their place at the top of the list?
Me? Oh, well, it's going to always be Virginia McKenna. Yeah, she is amazing. She is going to be 90 years old in a few days' time. So she is a Gemini, 90 years old. Extraordinary. I mean, unbelievable. And again, she has, interviewed her. She has grace. She has keen intelligence, huge empathy, amazing brain. I love the way she thinks. I love the way she looks at things in a very, very just way. She's a true wise woman. And I, as I said, 90 years old, I can't believe it. And she was acting with me in all my shows up till, I think the last thing she did for me was about 4 years ago. So, just a joy to share the stage with her, because you just always knew she would be so perfect when she did it.
For those of you who don't know that are watching, Virginia McKenna was, of course, a legendary actress. And as is typical of a Gemini, not only was she a talented actress, she also founded the Born Free Foundation. So tell us what the Born Free Foundation does.
Well, Born Free is an amazing organization, and what they do is they've been doing so many campaigns. They started off with what was called Zoo Check, and with Zoo Check, that was when really looking into how animals were treated in zoos. Now they've obviously expanded so much, so with the wild animals, particularly the lions. So when Ginny started in Born Free, they recognized that actually these animals were just captive, and actually recognized that with George Adamson, the importance to have animals left out in the wild. So they've set up all these release programs. They've done these extraordinary safari programs where people can go out there and pay to see the animals, but in their wild and natural state rather than in circuses. She campaigns massively about circus animals, and it's all animals that they work with as well. I mean, it's amazing, wolves and all kinds of animals that you would not necessarily think were endangered. So they have a big heart, the Born Free Foundation. Sign up, get their newsletters. They're brilliant for children because they really know how to get children involved in animal conservation. And it's always that argument, isn't it, about whether you see animals, which would you prefer, to see animals in captivity or know that they were wild and free? And I think the generations now are understanding how important it is that we give that freedom back to the animals.
I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. I'm just thinking out loud here, but you did do this incredible interview with Virginia, and I'm wondering whether we can find it on your computer or we can get one of the Lengro team to find it, and we'll have to replay that maybe on Saturday night, maybe before or after our Lengro Live as well. If you did,
that'd be lovely. I was gonna.
It was amazing, wasn't it, Jack?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. We need to see that again.
Yeah, that would be a really nice thing in honor of her birthday as well, darling. So it's the 7th of June. So that would be Saturday, I guess, would it? Doing the maths.
Oh, that'd be nice then, yeah.
Love that. So
also, Jack, Amanda, you've worked with the amazing Hugh Bonneville. Tell us about that.
Where's all these left field questions coming from? Yes,
really, she was asking.
gorgeous Hugh. Yes, so Hugh's been in a lot of my shows. So he's also travelled, and also with Virginia McKenna. So he did something called the 20th Century Review and done A Gift of Christmas with me. And I've known him for many years. We've done some sitcoms and different things together as well, and with friends of mine. So yeah, he's just lovely. He is such a great actor, and so he's had such an amazing career. I mean, really, and he's kept his feet on the ground. And yeah, and I think he looks, the more he gets older, the more attractive he gets.
Absolutely. I think you would be great in Downton Abbey.
Oh,
you would be great, wouldn't you? Who would you want to be, upstairs or downstairs?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think I'd have to be downstairs. I think I'm upstairs.
Well, I'd be downstairs as well. I'd be with you downstairs.
I think it's
upstairs, wouldn't she? The posh
yeah,
one.
Yeah, she'd be upstairs, definitely. I think I could maybe what I'd do is I'd hover between the two, and they wouldn't know whether I was, posh trying to be a sort of skivvy or a skivvy that was trying to be posh. I could play that both. I could do both ways. I quite like that.
Oh, I absolutely love that. What's interesting is lots of people, somebody said here, there was a film on the other day about Elsa, and that was Born Free. It was all about Elsa. It was on the other day, so it means that the industry themselves was also celebrating Virginia as well, which is lovely to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so well deserved, definitely.
Yeah.
And Jack, you haven't said anything about what you've done to get out of work.
Do you know what? I haven't really. I've just done the usual stickies, but do you know what I did once? Was this was a long time ago, and I am a really good driver, really. But I crashed into a bus once. Right? I crashed into a bus by accident because I didn't see him coming up on the left-hand side. But but the worst thing was I had to go on the bus and apologise to everyone because I'd made them all late for work. So when they went into work, I wonder if their bosses believed them when they said, "Oh, somebody crashed into my bus." That's why I was late.
And then this beautiful woman came on the bus and apologised. Like a vision. How lovely that you did that. Did they hurl things at you, or were they quite polite?
They just deadpan. Didn't say, "Oh, that's okay" or anything. They were just, you could tell they were all fuming.
Anyone holding their necks? Anyone got whipped?
No, it wasn't a bad crash, but they had to wait for another bus to come to all get on the other bus. So
that sounds quite bad though.
It is good. Now that we have our PA Sammy Norcup, you can't ever say that you're missing a Lengro Live for the wrong reasons. The other day there was a fire behind my house the other week, and you'll notice I didn't come on live because we were evacuated out the house, etc. As soon as I told her I'd come out the dentist and had the phone call, the police were evacuating people, Sammy had sent me a report about the fire and being online. So if you say the M25 has got a blockage, Sammy will tell you,
check.
No, it hasn't. You know what I mean?
No.
Don't lie to Sammy Norcup. And I have got a final picture to bring up for Jack as well. So Jack, are you ready for another bit of celebrity goss to give us?
Okay, who's this one? Oh, yeah, so this is Carol McGiffin, and she's actually my favourite panellist on Loose Women because she's just so funny. But she was the one that was actually talking about airports, and that's why we started talking about airports. But she says that she says she doesn't like overly positive people. She says they're exhausting. She thinks by being negative and pessimistic, it's a much more relaxing way to look at life, so you won't ever be disappointed in life. And she said after feeling hopeless and drowning in doom during the pandemic, she finally is feeling the clouds lifting and is looking forward to going on holiday. But she loves flying, but now she hates it because she says it's so different and unpleasant. She said there's so many restrictions and rules that they're more like prisons. So she does not like flying now. So that's why we were going to talk about the whole flying thing. But I mean, do you like flying? Would you still, with all these restrictions and things, would you want to fly?
I often love the travel more than the destination sometimes because something always happens to me. I always have an adventure on the way, and I've often before I've flown to a country and then I've been at the airport. This is back in the day where you could get flights easily. I've gone to fly home and I've flicked a coin and it's landed the right way for me, and I've decided from the flick of the coin not to go home, and I've gone on to a different country. So I don't think it will ever be like that again. I do miss those days. And I've got to say as well, we've got Michelle Hayes, who went to school with Nick Berry's sister, Amanda Berry. What was the song he sang? Every Loser Wins or something?
Every Loser Wins, yeah.
So I've got a little EastEnders link, and I can safely say I never slept with this person, so that's okay. But I can put him in the dirt. Letitia Dean, who plays Sharon in EastEnders. When I first came back from America when I was 21, I was bored. So as well as giving readings, my parents knew the people that were working the theatre show because they'd done lots of readings for them. So I would go backstage and I would zip up the dresses and help people backstage. And Stephen Dean, who was Letitia Dean's brother, invited me around the flat that he had as a summer home in Torquay while he was doing the show for dinner. So I went round for dinner and he cooked this most incredible pasta dish and served a certain white wine. And I thought, wow, he's such a good cook. He went. So anyway, the next night I went out with my mum or did various things. And by the end of the week, we were talking to the other girls backstage, and there were 7 of us, where each night he'd invited a different girl back, but he'd cooked the same pass the dish for each and every one of us. So Letitia, if you're watching, I hope by now you've taught your brother, if he wants to get a girl to bed, a different pasta dish, because we all thought he was such a cad for it. Forget trying to kiss us or not. It was the same pasta dish that got us like a. Anyway,
makes perfect.
it does, doesn't it? Sammy Norcup is going away in October, and Sammy, how do you feel about that? Are you nervous at all? Let us know how you feel. Go on, Jack. Can you read out Chrissy Wheatley's?
Yep, Every Loser Wins was #1 in November '86, the week my son was born.
Oh.
Wasn't that the theme tune to EastEnders?
I thought it was boom, boom, boom.
No, but you know the the other part of it. I'm sure it slowed down, wasn't it? I'm sure. Oh well,
I can't remember that far back now. It's obviously my brain is now watering down. Kim Tailforth had wedding reception at the restaurant I worked at, and I met Gillian Tailforth. Okay,
look, I haven't watched EastEnders, I must be honest, in probably about 7 years, or Coronation Street, simply because I'd rather read a book, and I'm on a screen all the time. But do you know what? I think next Saturday we may well ask you to tell us some more of your tales of your brushes with celebrities. So if you have a tale of a brush with a celebrity or a close family member of theirs, get it ready for Saturday, or better still, message me, Jack, or Amanda. But you know what, ladies, it's time to wrap up now, because I've got a date with 2 very beautiful girls that are in the next room. Amanda, what mischief are you getting up to after the show tonight?
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to take my dog out for a moonlit walk.
Oh,
who knows what I'll see. So I don't know. If I'm not back for Saturday Live, then send out the hounds.
You can't get a plane tonight. That's all I can say, Jack. And Jack, what about you?
I'm just going to catch up with my family because I haven't seen them much this evening. So yeah, just going to see what they're up to.
Fantastic. Right. Well, listen, everybody have an absolutely amazing night. We've loved having you here with us, haven't we, ladies?
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
We'll be back on Saturday.